behind the scenes, like, wow, you can see when I've done some congressional testimonies, I've testified in front of Congress a couple times. When you do that and then you see different points you're trying to make in SBA and like, this would help our program, this will help our small business owners. And then you actually see that come to fruition through congressional, through, legislative process, and then the regulatory process. It's vitally important for our program. I started my financial career in Indiana about 15 years ago, moved to Florida in 2011, continued in banking, and I would say I fell into SBA, meeting with the president and CEO of a CDC, a certified development company, primarily doing SBA 504. I could not spell SBA at that time, so I hadn't done much SBA lending at all in my banking career. When I started, I was a business development officer to essentially go and sell the SBA 504 loan program to business owners, primarily through conventional lenders, through lending partners, banks and credit unions and non-bank lenders. Let's see, November of 2017, I became the president and CEO of SEDCO, the first woman president and CEO. Apparently that's a really big deal. And so I've been president since then. Really great team of people, and SEDCO is, in my opinion, and a lot of lenders in Florida, is the best CDC in the state. My aha moment was probably different than most. It wasn't one deal or one situation. Every year, CDCs have to do an annual report. So we have to report on numbers, what we do and how many loans we facilitate. And there was a number in there, is about $1.4 billion of capital investment in the 504 loan program. That number just kind of hit me like, wow, $1.4 billion. And you think back about all of the small deals we do. I mean, our average loan at that time, the venture was like $700,000. And so, you're not talking about these big deals. So how many of these business owners were we able to help to then get to that $1.4 billion of capital investment? That's total capital. That's both the first and the second, if you know about the SBA 504. That was just quite a large number for a very small CDC, and the impact that SBA and the 504 loan program has on small business owners to be able to create jobs and retain capital. Nugget of information that I would share with someone is, especially in SBA, I say this a lot, that I didn't know this was more of a political job sometimes, because it is. And I think that, especially in a leadership role, I think if you're a BDO, it's different, but like in a leadership role for SBA, I have been very involved in legislative, congressional conversations, because that's what essentially will move the needle. And if we aren't out talking to members of Congress, both House and Senate, and, making sure our program is within the budget, it could stop. It could end tomorrow. And so I think just not really realizing that it's a government program. And while I run a private nonprofit, it's a private nonprofit, it's still government money. And so, ensuring that we are doing right by our congressional leaders, Senate and House, to ensure that, these programs remain viable for our small business owners, because it's been incredible to see the impact that SBA lending has on, 7A and 504. I know 7A has like 30 billion in appropriations and 504 has 15 billion. And those are big numbers. That's every year. That's something that I really didn't know, and when I became the president and CEO, like, you're just trying to get deals, but then you find out, you kind of get in behind the scenes, like, wow, you can see when I've done some congressional testimonies, I've testified in front of Congress a couple times, and I'll tell you, when you do that and then you see things you're doing and the different points you're trying to make in SBA, and like, okay, this would help our program, this will help our small business owners, and then you actually see that come to fruition through congressional, through legislative process, and then the regulatory process. It's something I had no idea about, but it's vitally important for our program. My name is Brooke Mirenda, and I am SBA.